When it comes to territorial disputes across the globe, the list is long and ever-changing. Territorial disputes are a major cause of wars and terrorism, as states often try to assert their sovereignty over a territory through an invasion, and non-state entities try to influence the actions through terrorism. International law does not support the use of force by one state to annex the territory of another state. The UN Charter says all members shall refrain in the international relations from the threat or the use of force against the territorial integrity or political independence of any state, or in any other manner inconsistent with the purposes of the United Nations. There are now more than 150 disputes underway that involve territory, mostly in Africa, Asia and Pacific region, with some of them in Europe and America. Some disputes are on the distant horizon like Antarctica, and some are long-simmering like Jammu and Kashmir, and many others are like Crimea, which are at their boiling points. But some of the territorial disputes have been solved without the dormant of military conflict and hostile diplomacy. In the early 1970s, a devastating tropical cyclone hit East Pakistan, which is now Bangladesh, and the Indian state of West Bengal. This cyclone is called as the Bhola cyclone. Bhola cyclone remains the deadliest tropical cyclone ever recorded and one of the deadliest natural disasters. At least 500,000 people lost their lives in this cyclone. The aftermath of the Bhola cyclone led to the emergence of an island in the Bay of Bengal, which was off the coast of Ganga-Brahmaputra Delta. After the Bangladesh Liberation War in 1971, East Pakistan got independence from Pakistan and led to this foundation of modern Bangladesh. The inhabited territory south of the Haribanga River was known as Newmore Island to the Indians and South Telepati Island to the Bangladeshis. In 1974, the island was being discovered by an American satellite and had an area of 2,500 square meters. But later, various remote sensing devices further showed the increase in the area to more than 10,000 square meters. The island's highest elevation was never found to be more than 2 meters. The Dhaka authorities came to know about the island in 1978, 4 years after India had detected it, and a year after the British Admiralty charts had shown it as an Indian territory. Although the island was inhabited and there was no permanent stations and settlements located on it, both India and Bangladesh claimed sovereignty over it because of the speculation over the existence of oil and natural gas beneath its sandy shores. No permanent structures were built on it, but in 1981, India sent gunboats and Coast Guard members and planted the Indian flag on it. But as soon as the Indians would sail away, Bangladeshis would take the flag down. The diplomatic tug-of-war over the island continued between the two countries over so many years, during which India agreed to exchange scientific data to carry out a joint survey. According to the Radcliffe Line, which was the boundary demarcation line between India and Pakistan, and especially drawed the borders between Indian and Pakistani Bengali region. The borders were defined on the basis of Thalweg, which is generally recognized as the international boundary on river borders between the two countries. The middle line of the mid-channel flow of the Haribanga River established the original boundary between India and Bangladesh. There is no conclusive evidence as to which side of the island the main channel flowed, and it may have shifted over time given shifting silt of the Sundarbans Delta. India claimed in their 1981 detailed survey of water depths, which showed the main and much deeper channel and the main flow on the east side of the island, which favored India. Similar survey data was printed on a 1990 British Admiralty chart and reprinted on the 1991 US National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. On the other hand, the Bangladeshi government claimed, as during the Ziaur Rahman's visit to India in the late 1970s, that the data provided clearly showed the main current flow on the western side of the island's location, thus favoring the Bangladesh. The government of Bangladesh lost the case against the government of India in October 2009, as both the countries failed to come to a solution in the past decades since the Bangladesh independence in 1971. With the Permanent Court of Arbitration, which is a permanent judicial body established by the United Nations to facilitate arbitration and other forms of resolutions of disputes between the states. The dispute was settled by the Permanent Court of Arbitration in July 2014 by a final verdict not open to appeal, with the island's sovereignty being under India. The verdict awarded Bangladesh with 19,467 km² out of 25,000 km² disputed area with India in the Bay of Bengal. The response from both sides to this verdict was positive. India's External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Syed Akbaruddin said, "We respect the verdict of the tribunal and we are in the process of studying the award and its full implications. We believe that the settlement of the maritime boundary will further enhance the mutual understanding and the goodwill between India and Bangladesh by bringing to closure to a long pending issue." And Bangladesh Foreign Minister A.H. Mahmood Ali said in a press briefing that it was victory for the both sides. But due to global warming, temperatures in the Bay of Bengal have been increasing at an annual rate of 0.4 degrees Celsius, and in the 2000 to 2009 decade, seawater level rose at a rate of 5 millimeters a year. Because of this, the new Moor Islands were completely submerged underwater. An oceanographer at Jadavpur University in Kolkata confirms its disappearance by the satellite imagery and by the sea patrols. He also said that other islands in the Indian Sundarbans regions are eroding very fast. The United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has estimated that 17% of Bangladesh will be submerged underwater by 2050 if sea levels rise by 1 meter due to climate change. But according to the verdict in 2014, the island will be under the jurisdiction of India, even though it is currently beneath the sea level.